synchronicity, they call it, but it's really astonishing how often this happens in Street Wisdom. Just when you need the answer, the right answer seems to happen.
Hi guys, this is Diane and Theo from the Inspe team, and today we're in London to meet with a pirate called David Pearl. He is the founder of Street Wisdom, a new technique that will unlock your creativity just by walking down the street.
So my background is in the arts, in theatre, film, opera, television. But essentially it's about the ability, which I think is in the arts, is to find the extraordinary in the everyday. Street wisdom is a way of learning from the street. Imagine if going to the shops and coming back, you could find inspiration. Not just find your shopping, but find inspiration. Imagine if the world around us is our creative friend, and when we have a problem or a question we're trying to resolve, that friend could help us come up with fresh answers. And we could do it on any street, anywhere in the world. That's what street wisdom is. So it has 3 parts. In the first part of what we call the walk shop, so it's a workshop where you walk, the first part is you tune up your senses. In the cities, very often, we close down our senses because there's too much noise and too much stimulus. But in Street Wisdom, we open it up in order that we can get more information. The second part is what we call the quest, and it's simply, you go wandering and you ask a question. And you simply ask the question and you walk around, you let your feet take you for a walk, and you discover what you find. And the third phase is called the sharing, where you get together with other people and you share what you found. And particularly, did anything pop out at you? A word, an object, a sound, a person even, and how might that thing be an answer to the question that you were asking? I think it really came also when I was working with business people. They're just people. I took them out of their businessy skyscrapers into the street to work, and I noticed that when we came out of our buildings into the street, people just became human again. And it made me think, maybe the street is a great practice field. It's a school in a way. For centuries, human beings would read the landscape. You know, our ancestors would be barefooted maybe, so they would be connecting with the ground, and they would be able to read meaning into the surroundings. And we've lost that. We've lost that ability to see the world symbolically. And I think we need it back, because I think the problems and the issues we're facing can't be solved by just this Cartesian rational thought. We've got to get very creative. The earth requires it. We require it. Thousands, possibly tens of thousands of people have done it in 70 countries around the world. There are probably 3 main things that people get. Firstly, people do get answers to the questions on their minds. They get fresh inspiration. Second thing is people make very interesting connections, often with people they haven't met. It helps create communities, it helps create connection, and for people to think that they're not alone. And I think the third thing people get is a technique, a practice. Anytime they can flip that switch in their intelligence and suddenly be connected to the world around them in a highly creative way. Anytime. Creativity's never been more needed, and we all need to find a way of being able to switch on our creativity when we need it. And so her question on her quest was, she was thinking about how to raise more money for the school. It was Sunday, it was raining, there was no one around. But suddenly Jo saw in the distance a couple of older people in the rain walking. So she hurried over with Zach and said, "Excuse me, can I stop you? I just want to ask you a question." And they said, sure. She said, "I'd love to know how I can raise more money for the school." And the guy turned out to be a fundraiser, and the woman turned out to be a school governor. So if anyone out there wants to experience Street Wisdom, just hop along to the website, which is streetwisdom.org. This man here is a great teacher, Charles Handy, he's a philosopher. He said something to me that's always stayed with me, which is having your own recipe for happiness is the key to happiness. And by that I mean deciding for yourself what makes you happy and being bold enough to stay with that, not go with what other people tell you is going to make you happy, is really the key to it. And I also think in this world, there's happiness, small seeds of happiness available all the time. I think we have to harvest those seeds.